You're just a coward. Like, you truly a coward. You truly a coward.
Police say he repeatedly striked Malika Bruner in the head and upper body until her death.
This is the story of Malika Bruner, a mother of 3. For nearly 2 years, she was in a turbulent relationship with Walter Balcom, a man with a troubling past. Despite an order of protection and a history of abuse, Malika tried to rebuild her life. Tragically, her efforts ended in horror when she was brutally beaten to death in her own home, an attack witnessed by her 9-year-old daughter, who courageously called 911. How could a system meant to protect her fail so profoundly? What led to the removal of her ex's monitoring device that might have saved her life? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Rochester, New York, a city steeped in history and located on the southern shore of Lake Ontario. Known for its innovation, Rochester is the birthplace of major companies like Kodak and Xerox. It is also a hub of vibrant neighborhoods, lush parks, and a rich cultural scene, offering a sense of community to its residents. Amidst the city's charm, however, lies the tragic story of Malika Bruner, a life lost too soon. Malika Bruner was born on March 20, 1981, to Willie Lee Bruner and Agnes Bruner. She grew up in Rochester, surrounded by a loving family, a devoted mother. Malika cherished her 3 children.
What are we doing today?
Hanging out.
You gotta go to the doctor's today too.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Get your physical. You in Jersey?
For what?
Because you have to.
Not a lot of physicals.
Yes, you just have to. Who's watching us? I don't know. It says somebody's watching us, but I don't know who that is.
Maybe it's B who's watching us.
I don't know.
What do you think B's watching us? Well, it says watch us right here.
It's live. Somebody's watching, but I just don't know who. It doesn't tell you who it is.
Yeah, why doesn't tell you?
You don't know.
No, wait, maybe when it's downloading would tell us.
Her children were her pride and joy, and she worked tirelessly to provide them with love, stability, and opportunities. She was deeply committed to her family and friends, often going out of her way to show her love and support. In Malika Bruner's life, a central figure was her boyfriend, Walter Balcom. The couple had been together for approximately 2 years. However, their relationship was marked by turmoil and violence. According to police records, Walter had previously been arrested in June for a violent assault on Bruner and her son, which involved stabbing them with a knife. Malika's social media post hinted at possible problems in her relationship. She posted, "Don't nobody talk more shit about you than a MF, you let come and live in your house rent-free. Not going to let this sorry-ass man ruin my morning. Betty won't forget that 2-piece. Don't get a man from another woman's bed and expect him to be faithful to you." Following that incident, an order of protection was issued against him, but the violence persisted. Witnesses describe Walter as abusive and controlling. He had a long criminal history, including 4 felony and 7 misdemeanor convictions, with 2 violent felonies on record. Despite these red flags, he was released from custody and placed under electronic monitoring, which was later controversially removed 5 days before a tragic event that no one had even imagined. Late on the night of August 27, 2024, a frantic 911 call was placed by Malika Bruner's 9-year-old daughter, reporting that her mother was being attacked by her boyfriend, Walter Balcom. Rochester police officers responded to 296 Hazelwood Terrace at approximately 11:30 p.m., where they discovered Bruner deceased in the home. Initially reported as a stabbing, it was later confirmed that Walter had repeatedly struck Bruner in the head and upper body, inflicting fatal injuries. Walter had fled the scene before the police arrived. The brutality of the attack was compounded by its witness, Bruner's young daughter, who displayed remarkable courage in contacting authorities. The victim's death was not instantaneous. The injuries inflicted by Walter were gruesome and sustained, leaving Bruner unable to survive the assault. Walter Balcom, 49, a repeat offender with a lengthy criminal record, had previously been arrested on June 2, 2024, for a violent assault against Bruner and her adult son. This assault involved a stabbing, and Walter was charged with felony assault and issued a no-contact order of protection. Despite these charges and his history of violent felonies, Walter was released from custody with an ankle monitor for electronic monitoring under release under supervision. On August 22, 2024, just 5 days before Bruner's death, a pretrial hearing led Monroe County Judge Karen Bailey Turner to lift the electronic monitoring requirement for Walter. This decision stemmed from his defense attorney's argument that the monitoring device hindered Walter's ability to seek employment. Judge Turner's rationale, according to court transcripts, included concerns about the lack of GPS functionality in the monitoring device and a desire to rehabilitate Walter. Despite documented instances of non-compliance with Rust's terms, the judge opted to release Walter under minimal supervision. Following Bruner's death, the Rochester Police Department launched a manhunt for Walter, releasing his photo to the public. He was apprehended on September 2, 2024, at a residence on Galusha Street with the help of community tips. Initially charged with second-degree manslaughter, Walter pleaded not guilty during his arraignment. A Monroe County grand jury later indicted him on more severe charges, including first-degree manslaughter and aggravated criminal contempt.
New details on the Rochester man accused in the beating death of his girlfriend. Four-time convicted felon Walter Balcom Jr. faced a judge this morning.
13's WAM Natalie Cosentani was in court for the arraignment and spoke with the victim's son. Natalie?
Well, Karen, Malika Bruner's son told me today nothing will bring his mother back, and he's frustrated the man accused of beating her to death was taken off electronic monitoring just days before the deadly attack. Malika Bruner's son coming face to face with Walter Balcom Jr., the man charged in his mother's death.
I know who you are, I know who you are. This courtroom is like seeing you as this. Yeah, but I really know the truth behind you.
49-year-old Balcom is charged with manslaughter, accused of beating 43-year-old Bruner to death at a home on Hazelwood Terrace last month. Prosecutors say it happened in front of Bruner's 9-year-old daughter. In court, no contact orders of protection were given for all three of Bruner's children. Assistant District Attorney Kaylee Rosari says Balcom was contacting Bruner's young daughter from jail.
It's terrifying that he's reaching out. I don't want him to be contacting her or put any ideas in her head. She has a very strong 9-year-old, and she holds her own.
Balcom was already facing assault charges, accused of stabbing Bruner and her son with a knife in June. 5 days before the deadly August attack, Judge Karen Bailey Turner ordered electronic monitoring to be taken off Balcom, noting the ankle monitor from pretrial services did not have GPS. But Monroe County told me pretrial services does have the capability to provide GPS monitors if it is ordered by the court. Bruner's son angered by the judge's decision.
I just don't understand the courts, the legal system. A lot of that stuff doesn't really add up to me.
Balcom's attorney says his client is upset with these charges.
Obviously, we hope he's found not guilty, but whether or not it's realistic, we'll have to wait and find out.
Bruner's son hoping to see justice.
I'd rather have my mom back more than anything, That's all that really matters to me, so it ain't nothing that they can do to, ever bring my mother back, so there's really nothing.
Walter is currently being held without bail and faces additional legal proceedings. His extensive criminal record includes 4 prior felony convictions, 2 of them violent, and 7 misdemeanors. His history of domestic violence was a key factor in the public outcry that followed Bruner's death. The tragedy deeply affected Bruner's family, particularly her children. Her eldest son, Olajuwon McLemore, has spoken candidly about his devastation and frustration with the judicial system. In court appearances, McLemore faced Walter with raw emotion, calling him a coward and demanding justice. McLemore expressed anger over the removal of Walter's electronic monitoring and questioned the court's decisions that allowed his mother's killer to remain at liberty. During Walter's arraignment, tensions ran high in the courtroom. A spectator loudly denounced him as an animal, capturing the sentiment of many who see Bruner's death as a preventable tragedy. Assistant District Attorney Kaylee Rosari described the case as a prosecutor's worst nightmare, emphasizing the systemic failures that contributed to the crime. The decision to remove Walter's electronic monitoring device has drawn intense scrutiny. Pretrial services confirmed that GPS-enabled ankle monitors were available, but such a device was not requested or ordered by the court. Judge Turner's handling of the case has been widely criticized, with some questioning her interpretation of the monitoring system's limitations and her decision to prioritize Walter's reintegration over Bruner's safety.
I sat down with Walter Balcom's attorney, Ted Baracco, today. He tells me in court on August 22nd, Monroe County officials argued Balcom left his house, which was a violation of his pretrial order stemming from the pending felony assault charge. In that incident, Balcom was accused of beating Bruner.
Apparently the judge wasn't aware, I know I wasn't aware, and Mr. Balcom wasn't aware that these ankle monitors do not have GPS capability. That the ankle monitor he was wearing, I believe, was an old style, which I think it attaches to a home landline phone only and can only tell if the individual is in his house or out of his house.
Baracco tells me because the ankle monitor was not tracking Balcom's whereabouts, the judge lifted that requirement. I reached out to Monroe County, who told me in a statement they do provide electronic monitors with GPS if they are ordered by the court.
How many systems do we have? Are they capable of GPS? What percentage are capable of GPS? What is the protocol for monitoring these devices?
Many, including Monroe County legislator Rachel Barnhart, have questions about the electronic monitoring program.
We keep seeing these situations where kids are stealing cars and some of them have ankle monitors on. Then we have a tragedy where a judge says there is no GPS available, or a probation officer tells a judge no GPS is available. What is going on with our ankle monitoring system here? Is it preventing crime?
Elder Sandra Wilson attended Thursday's services for Malika Bruner and told me she believes GPS tracking should be part of all electronic monitoring.
This is a very necessary, just one tool that will assist the judges to make a decision, as well as looking into the privileges or the rehabilitation of the perpetrator prior to any privileges, such as taking off the ankle monitor.
She believes if Balcom was wearing the monitor with GPS, she may not have had to attend a funeral today.
We can't bring Malika back, but we can save another life.
Court transcripts revealed that pretrial services had flagged multiple instances of non-compliance by Walter, including unauthorized departures from his residence late at night. Despite these violations, no additional safeguards were put in place, and the court ultimately opted for reduced supervision. Malika Bruner was laid to rest on September 12, 2024. She was remembered as a loving and caring mother who touched the lives of those around her. Her family has since launched a GoFundMe campaign in her memory, advocating for increased awareness and prevention of domestic violence. Walter remains in custody awaiting trial. As of now, the case is pending, with additional charges potentially forthcoming. The outcome will hinge on the evidence presented to the grand jury, as well as testimony from witnesses, including Bruner's daughter and law enforcement. The tragic death of Malika Bruner highlights the devastating consequences of systemic failures in addressing domestic violence. The decision to remove Walter Balcom's electronic monitoring, despite his history of violent offenses and prior violations, left Bruner vulnerable to further abuse. The loss of Bruner leaves a profound impact on her children, family, and friends, particularly her young daughter who witnessed the horrifying events. My condolences to Malika's friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.